Okay, we are going to be moving on to a presentation from Nina Walsh from AWS, which is on, is the lack of skills holding companies back? I'm really looking forward to that, and I think it falls nicely after Angelique's presentation as well. So Nina, over to you, thank you.
Perfect, Tia. Yeah, thank you. Hello everyone, nice to meet you. Thanks for having me today. Background-wise, so I'm obviously at AWS now, but I've done the full gamut of media and entertainment. Started out in radio, then sports broadcasting, then live production, and then moved into post-production, visual effects and animation. And then for the past 5 years, I've been over on the AWS side. Fun fact, I actually grew up on a dairy farm in the middle of nowhere. And so for me, being uncomfortable has been a thread throughout my career. And I think being adaptable has really helped me to navigate the various opportunities that I've had. And so here I am on this side of things. Yeah, I think one of the things I wanted to start with was a striking statistic, which is, according to McKinsey, 87% of companies worldwide report that they have a skills shortage, or they will have in the next few years. And that really represents countless opportunities. I just realised I don't have my little clicker. I felt naked. Thank you. Thanks, guys, for changing my slide. That really creates an opportunity for those that are ready to target it. So yeah, that was the perfect tee up from there. So just to touch on a couple of key observations. So the technical skills that were relevant 5 years ago are not going to be relevant today, and they're certainly not going to be relevant tomorrow. If you think back to, not just knowing HTML was all you needed to be a web developer, it's evolved significantly since then. So making sure that we're talking about and understanding what's required to develop skills in machine learning, cybersecurity, blockchain, quantum computing are all really relevant as we move forward. The second one, which I personally love, is that it's not just about technical skills, but it's actually about human skills. Who would have thunk it? So making sure that we're helping to develop those personal skills, that of course is really difficult to do, and it's also really, really difficult to scale. And then the third one is using the outdated approaches to help solve modern problems. So if you think about traditionally when you look at your training, you might have a training budget, you might have an annual plan. It's not going to work going forward. You really need to be reacting to the business needs and what's required, and then also reacting to your teams and what's going to be required to engage them. So I can see people nodding a little bit, maybe understanding what I'm saying. So what do we do about it? I'm going to outline 3 sort of actionable strategies which I think we should be thinking about. So this shift from role-based to skill-based thinking. So stop hiring for jobs, but hire for the skills that you actually require in your business. And what that means is that you need to actually map out what the requirements are in your organisation. That takes time, but it's certainly worth the investment. And then you can figure out in the landscape where the gaps are and what you need. The second one is to create a culture of continuous learning. So not so much about mandatory training, but more so how do you engage your workforce in new ways. A model which is well known is the 70-20-10, so 70 on day-to-day job skills where you're developing those, 20 on inter-team projects, and then 10 on professional type programs that help to upskill your team. And then it's leveraging your existing talent pool, which is great news because the people that you have in the building may be underutilised in the roles that they're in. So again, really getting a good understanding of the skill sets on your team already and how you can potentially repurpose some of those people to fit with your new requirements. So quick example, one of our clients, a mid-sized advertising company, so they were struggling to find data scientists, and of course going out onto the market and trying to hire a data scientist is going to cost you a lot of money. It's brutal, in fact, to try to find those skills, and so they started looking at their employees in-house, figured out who had the analytical mindsets and who potentially they could use to fill those needs. And lo and behold, guess what? Those people have the technical skills, but they also have the context, having been in the business already. So sometimes I think it's challenging ourselves to maybe relook at the workforce more holistically from a different angle, as opposed to where we might have pigeonholed them based on their initial skill set. And then I love this picture, AI generated, of course, because I'm a sports nut. I love my sports. But for me, developing your AI skills internally really is similar to developing a high-performing sports team, in my opinion. You need to have the right players on the pitch at the right time. They need to have all the best skills required because ultimately you want to help them win the game. So just a little fun fact, personal tie-in for me and my sports passion. And then, of course, as we know, generative AI is revolutionising how media companies and sports organisations deliver those engaging experiences in general. It's transforming sports production, streamlining workflows, really helping to tell those storytelling aspects. AI can now automatically generate highlight reels. Broadcasters are using AI to pull out those emotional stories based on reactions from the crowd, reactions from players. And so I think you touched on it before, but it really is just the beginning. It's evolving more and more every day. So we need to keep on top of it and keep determining what those roles are that we need. So trends in the industry, it's really being drawn by these four major themes. The first, of course, is we're undergoing yet another vast transformation. Thankfully, in the entertainment industry, we're very used to disruption. We're also very used to that technology-driven disruption. So nothing that we can't handle, for sure. The technology convergence is being driven by that synergy of cloud computing, data, and generative AI. And of course, that's where we're enabling those new product propositions or new revenue streams that you can create as an organisation. And then these two things are coming together and we're seeing this shift towards more immersive, personalised experiences. Examples of that you can see if you're an Epic fan. You can now watch live concerts within the console. IMAX, another one of our customers, was playing basketball games across Asia in their theatres and got really good attendance there. So really rethinking some of those traditional styles and how you can use technology to enable those moving forward. But most importantly, customers are expanding on their existing IP to create those new revenue streams. There's lots of challenges, of course, as part of this, but there's also opportunities for those that are ready to tackle them. And despite these disruptions that I highlighted, the industry is projected to hit 3.4 trillion by 2028. And in fact, it did hit the 1 trillion mark last year. 35% of that growth was from online video, 25% was from games. And this growth is being powered by the 5.8 billion mobile users that are consuming content anywhere at any time. And Gen Z's appetite, as we know, for social video and streams is really just growing and growing. Gaming has become a new phenomena, global phenomena with 3.5 billion players weekly. That's nearly 1 in 2 people on the planet engaging in that new style of content. And then these shifts are creating an intriguing paradox. While those attention spans are shrinking, the want for new types of content is only increasing, which of course is then lending to more opportunities for us in this industry to meet that moment. It's an exciting time. The message is clear. The future of entertainment is multidimensional, it's personalised, and it's more engaging than ever and has to be to retain those audiences. So, the companies who can master the real-time personalised AI-enhanced experiences are going to capture the next decade of growth. And those that don't will become the content libraries for those who do. And so the convergence of media, games and sports creates entirely new revenue streams that didn't exist even 18 months ago. And then a big part of that, of course, is generative AI. Now, I'm not going to go into a huge amount of detail here, but it is revolutionising how entertainment companies deliver those engaging experiences across various channels and platforms. It's been evolving for the past few years, and as Sir Martin Sorrell, the founder of WPP, explained it, which I love, generative AI's impact has been sort of 2023 the year of wow, 2024, the year of how, and 2025 is the year of now. It's happening now, and we need to ensure that our teams are there to meet the moment. So, we understand the challenge, we understand the opportunity, how do we go after it? From an AWS perspective, we've been working to develop comprehensive skill development programs to help companies prepare for this moment. And one that we're very proud of is the AWS Tech Alliance, which kicked off in the UK at the end of April this year. The goal is to train 100,000 people in AI skills by 2028, and it's to address that growing need for AI and cloud skills across the UK. The why, as you just heard, is the market need. So 47% of new UK jobs will require AI technology in the next 3 years. 41% of UK organisations struggle to hire people with those necessary digital skills. And 8.5 million adults in the UK do not have basic digital skills, which is kind of scary when you think about that. Now, the program reach and partnerships is through working with over 900 different organisations, including universities Exeter and Manchester, and companies like Deloitte as another example. And then the investment and the economic impact of that is shown in the output of those new skills. So creating new jobs, putting those, matching up those new skilled workers with the existing employers that need the help. So the program features that we're looking at are the industry validated content, which is key. So partnering with companies in the industry to ensure that we're helping work backwards from them and design the content they need. Hands-on experience, which again is key. It's one way to do the research and do the technology, you know what I'm trying to say, when you read a book. Anyway, good story. The practical reading of the books, but then hands-on experience really helps to develop those skills even further. And then that creates the connection to match those direct employers with those companies that need the help. The focus areas, of course, are AI, cybersecurity, and big data, and it's designed to align those skilled workers with the employers that need them. This is all part of broader Amazon initiatives. There was an announcement recently that 1,000 new UK apprenticeships will be offered, and that also aims to address that digital skills gap through providing those accessible training programs to more and more people out there. Now, there's a couple of other initiatives that we're very passionate about, the RISE Academy work, the RISE Women in Broadcast, and then Project On Air, which Carrie mentioned earlier and you'll learn a lot more about. Now, for the RISE Academy work, there's this educational innovation piece where AWS is working with Sony Hawkeye, and when we're providing hands-on experience to these people so that they can really get in and understand that broadcast technology side of things and get their hands on the tools to really help develop those skills. There's the technical experience, so getting direct exposure to major broadcasters so that, again, they can learn those new skills. That includes broadcast replay, VAR, different areas of innovation where they may not have had exposure to previously. And then the scale and the reach. The 2025 program has expanded to 3 locations already, Glasgow, Manchester and London, looking to expand even further. And it's aiming to reach 500 plus students, demonstrating AWS's commitment to developing the future of broadcast skills. We also do a lot of work with RISE Women in Broadcast, including myself. I'm a mentor and also sit on the board for RISE ANZ. And again, it's just another great program that goes towards encouraging more women to come into the industry and also to help to develop some of those cloud and AI skills. And then lastly, there's Project On Air, and I won't go into too much detail because you'll do a much better job. But we're partnering with Carrie and team for the Media Talent Manifesto, which is a 26-hour live broadcast, syncing multiple universities across the globe and providing those learning opportunities, which is a very exciting prospect. So, call to action for those willing to think about it is that the skills gap isn't going away. It doesn't have to hold your company back though. That's the good news. You can start today by assessing some of these aspects to really try and get ahead of it. Order your current AI capabilities, figure out where there's immediate opportunities, and then figure out what's going to be the least path of resistance to get some implementations going. Develop a vision for the roles and responsibilities because that will be the motivation that powers the business going forward. And then invest in upskilling your teams. The technology is only as powerful as the people wielding it. I think an important piece is to remember that the companies that will thrive are not necessarily the companies with the most resources. They are the ones that are willing to learn and really lean into the process and partner with their teams in the process. So thank you very much for having me.